Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, world. This is the Festive Tech Calendar 2024 contribution by my friend, you all know him, Dan Ray. And Dan is doing a session this month on MVP Wrapped, Community Wrapped, and LinkedIn Wrapped, or MCT Wrapped. Ways to go ahead and summarize your contributions for the entire year. And the first thing we're going to need to do here is log in to a website to set up a stream live to LinkedIn. So let's go ahead and do that here. I'm going to go to the ever so hidden video link. We're going to go live now. We're going to call this Festive Tech Calendar 2024, stream details, Festive Tech Calendar 2024 contribution. We'll put our title in here. Let's grab our title. Pick our region. And set up our live stream here. Okay, we're recording this for the inclusion in the YouTube channel, but right now we're going to go live on LinkedIn, probably about a half an hour after I was scheduled. And we're going to go ahead and go live here. And as soon as we're live, we will continue with our session here. Give us a moment while it connects over to LinkedIn. We'll be live on LinkedIn here in a moment. And then from there, we'll talk about doing a LinkedIn wrapped, a MCT wrapped, an MVP wrapped, whatever you consider your community. And we'll be live here in a second on LinkedIn. There we go. Okay, we are connected. Welcome, LinkedIn folks, to LinkedIn Wrapped, Community Wrapped, MVP Wrapped, or MCT Wrapped, whichever title you feel fits you, is more than available to you. I'm going to take a look here real quick at our slide masters for these slides to see if we've got any of these festive backgrounds as part of our slide masters. Let's fix that real quick. Send backwards. There we go. Save that, and then all of our slides will get that creative background. So now we have our slides for our Festive Tech Calendar 2024. And this contribution will be for summarizing what I've done in the year 2024. And so I have been working on several different templates for this. And so the templates could include things like PowerPoint Cameo. And you can see that I can choose a Cameo object on this slide or all my slides. So if I want to embed my video, I'm using Satya Nadella and his Teams account that I set up for training and demos. But I'm going to put my Cameo in all slides here. And then you can see that I get some suggested ways to design my slides. However, I've already got my background chosen. And now what I can do is put my image on my slides when I am presenting. So we'll go ahead with LinkedIn Wrapped as our first example, and Dan Ray, and we will create another slide here. We'll do this as two content because I have two suggestions for wrapping up the year. One is co-author and studio. So I'm going to share that website here with all of you. Let's go ahead and open another tab here. So we should be live on LinkedIn. And then the other one is another website that I recently found. Here, let me get the URL for you. And either of these do a great job of summarizing your contributions for the year. The other one is Cleave.ai. And so what these websites allow you to do is summarize your contributions from a LinkedIn perspective. So if I go over to Teams here and share my browser instead of my PowerPoints, we can take a look at our options here for getting a tailored year in review postcard. So one of the things that I've found with Co-Author Studio is all you have to do is point it to your LinkedIn profile. You can use an email address here as well. So let's use Satya's email address. And it says it's free, ready in 5 minutes, and should get you access. This is the message I've been getting, however, from the coauthor.studio website. And it's just saying that it's taking a little longer than normal to process these requirements. There's also sign up for early access to Co-Author Studio. And then it's telling me here that my highlights card is queued and my post is queued. The first time I ran this, which was probably 5 days ago, 3 to 5 days ago, I'd never received an email. I checked my junk, I checked all my email, but I went back to this website, and lo and behold, this website had my card ready for download on this page. So I was able to use that. The second website that I found was thanks to Ami Diamond. Ami posted a Cleave.ai, same type of thing, a 2024 year wrapped using your LinkedIn data. So this doesn't necessarily take into account your other ways of contributing. If you've presented in person as opposed to LinkedIn, unless you've documented that on LinkedIn with a post or comments and highlighted that in your profile, this isn't going to pick up that information. But the benefit here is that I use the same information, public information. So if we go over and let's search for Satya's public information, and let's look at what his would look like from a standpoint of his LinkedIn contributions for the past year. Chairman and CEO of LinkedIn. So let's grab his URL. And let's go ahead and put that into here and then do our email address and get our free unwrapped. The thing I liked about this was it seems to still be working. It creates, I believe it's 12 individual graphics. And then it also allows you to download a PDF of your activity on LinkedIn for the year. So I've done this for my account. I downloaded the slide show, the PDF to post on LinkedIn. And I believe I posted that on Christmas Day, the 25th of December. So it's the 26th of December. We're creating this. I love some of these, like I'm having a quarter life crisis, a midlife crisis, talking to my therapist. There's just some really funny things while you're awaiting your Cleve.ai LinkedIn Unwrapped. And so this goes ahead and comes up with these great graphics that I can download for Satya's participation. So I could save this as, if I right click here, come on, right click. You worked once, are you going to work again? There we go. Save image as images, Satya, avatar. And let's go ahead and put these into a folder. 2024. So 104 posts, 487,000 reactions, and over 14,000 comments. The posts are scattered throughout the year. We can see that on a scatter chart here, and we can save that into our folder. Let's see if it's going to save a make sure this is saving successfully to the folder. It's not giving me from my computer. It's not giving me the, here it is. Here's the download link. So you have to hover and then you get the downloads. And then what I should get is, let's see if we're getting an error on all of these or just one of them. Okay. It looks like I'm getting an error on the downloads, but here's where you would download the individual pages, is in the upper right. So theoretically, there's some kind of issue with this website today. But you can see, as I look at the top posts in 2024, there was collaborating with CrowdStrike to resolve a global IT system outage and the impact of that. We can see the post. There's a link to the post, so I can click on it to get to the post. I can view this on LinkedIn and see that that was from Satya Nadella. And I can see the other two are the expanding partnership with NVIDIA for breakthrough AI capabilities across the Copilot stack from March of this year. I can view that on LinkedIn again, see how many reposts and the comments and reactions. Over 19,000 reactions to Satya's posts. He gets a little better engagement than I do. Over 197 comments, or a total of that, and almost 1,000 reposts of this from March. Then as we scroll down, we can see that the LinkedIn buddies include 8 people that have made comments and are involved with Satya's account. We can see where those accounts made some contributions. And then we get the strategist and other examples of strategists. And then we can see some of the highlight posted items that Satya made in each month. So introduced new Copilot agents in September, launched GitHub models for AI development, boasting 100 million developers, and then top lessons for 2024. So each of these, theoretically, you can download as an image, And then what I found, there was a letter for you and consistency stats about your posting. Doesn't look like the engagement in July or August was high, but the posts happened at least one in each month. So we get these nice graphics about post timings and average engagement, posting days, mainly on the weekdays, Tuesday being the most popular, average engagement, Friday being the most popular. And then we have the link to get your own. After that, what I have seen is that there is a processing PDF, which should be available to download. And then it looks like there's a copy caption and an export to LinkedIn option as well. So it still looks like it's processing the image. This might have become more popular this week as well. Let me go ahead and share my PowerPoint again so we can talk about some other ideas for using the Festive Tech Calendar besides CoAuthor Studio and Acclive.ai. We go back to our slides here and we do a picture with caption, content with caption, section header, or title and content. We could do a wrapped summary by month. We could do this however we want. We could do January, February, March, April, May, June, put in a little information from each month. We could do this as, I believe, a couple columns. Could do 4 columns over, 4x3. Do whatever we want from a standpoint of putting this information in. We could also just do July, August, September. You can see that it's doing a good job of adjusting my font size based on having all 10 months on one page. So I could go ahead and highlight the things that I did. The first 6 months, I used the abbreviation for the months, and then I used the full words going forward into August, September, October, and November. So I could do this however I choose, and then I could also insert my Cameo object. The nice thing about Cameo on this slide is once I have a Cameo object, besides the designer recommendations, I can also decide where my Cameo object is and the shape of my Cameo object. So if I wanted to make my camera shape into an arrow to all of my contributions, I certainly can do so. And then my video will be on the far right when I go into slideshow mode. So let's go ahead and do that and show you what it looks like going live here on LinkedIn and using my wrapped summary by month. So whatever you use for the video over here on my Surface tablet becomes the embedded video at the size and the shape that you choose within your camera format. So if I hold down the control key, as I resize this, it resizes the entire object and keeps its orientation. So that becomes kind of full slide. And then as I'm presenting the slide, you can see that I'm dressed up a little festive for our event today. I'm going to go ahead into our event and make sure that I'm seeing our slides as they are designed. Welcome, everyone. There we go. So we're seeing the slides and we're seeing them the way they are designed. Now to wrap up these contributions for the month, I could either type into PowerPoint, or since I'm using my Surface, let's go ahead and grab our Surface Pen. And let's use one of the functions of our fancy pen here to present. And that is the Surface Slim Pen has the function of being able to write on my screen. So if I talk about Ignite being a major contribution in November, and maybe this MVP wrapped idea that I had for December, including making that part of the festive tech calendar for this year. Whether you're a LinkedIn user, whether you work for Microsoft and you want to call it Microsoft Wrapped, I believe Cleave AI has gone ahead and used a different wording for their contributions. I'm going to go ahead and share my entire screen here so I don't have to switch between things as we want to hop around and discuss different things. For Cleave, they have decided to call these things unwrapped as opposed to wrapped, because it's unwrapping your LinkedIn contributions. So if I wanted to use that as my additional contributions for December, I could put Cleave AI, I could put co-author. And here's something pretty cool. I can actually write over my video here. So if we get rid of our little preview there, I can do that. Then if I go back into the previous part of the year, let's see what else we could put in here. In January, February, March, April, I know I attended Comms v Next this year. Comms v Next this year and next year is in the April timeframe. So I could put my contribution at Comms v Next and a co-presenting with Antares Lisk as a major accomplishment that month. And then what I used to come up with my LinkedIn Wrapped for the year was basically different things that I had done and documented within this hashtag MVP Wrapped. So if we search LinkedIn for that hashtag, we should be able to find not only this event, but other things related to this hashtag. And if I search for just posts, still find a few people, but if I search for member and put my name in here, what I should be able to do is say, only show me results from my contributions on LinkedIn. So here's the dating wrapped idea that I had. And here's my co-author studio LinkedIn Rewind, my LinkedIn Unwrapped that I posted on, I guess it was yesterday, yeah, 12 hours ago. And then let's see if we've got some other community wrapped. Here's the contributions for 2024 so far that I came up with. You can see that I have my Cameo objects within here. And so in January, I came up with the fact that we did a community tenant and requested a community tenant for Journey to the Cloud. Microsoft on adoption.microsoft.com allows you to have up to 3, I believe, contributors that you add as owners. It might be 4, so you'd have a total of 5 options. And between Frank Falvey and Paul Pendant and other folks that have either been working on their community contributions or I have been collaborating with, we have spoken throughout the month of January. I believe in January was possibly when Paul and I talked about him coming to the Chicago M365 Community Day that we were planning in July. Frank has been hosting the weekly Azure and AI show for now 2 years. We have canceled this week's, and I believe next week we pick back up because we're already past Christmas. So I think it's this weekend we are canceling, and then we'll pick up in January again with a weekly show. And then we also have the monthly Journey to the Cloud show, which is the first Thursday of every month at this point. We might change that up, pick a different day, pick a different time. We are open to contributions. In February, I attended the Microsoft Community Day in Miami, Florida. I also attended the very first iHeart AI Miami meetup. And Sarah Fenna did Copilot training, and I assisted her kind of unofficially with signups for folks and QR codes, passing around a portable tablet for people to sign in or get URLs if they came in late, as she shared some information first thing in her session. And then I also became a end user computing tech insider with, at the time, VMware. And as they sold to Broadcom, they've rebranded this fall to Omnessa. And so I did an unboxing here maybe a week ago of my Tech Insiders swag that they'd sent. In February, I also did the MCT Learn Experts call, and they consolidated our Microsoft Learning room into a modern work room for everyone across the globe. We had 2 rooms, and I think we were a test or a beta of what would it look like to consolidate 2 rooms into one big room, so we don't have half of the people, or some people maybe that know the 3 Learn Experts that were doing this in one geography, and then 3 other Learn Experts that were doing it in a different geography, India versus the United States and Europe. We just decided, you know what, we've got better coverage from a geographical time zone perspective if we combine, and then it just becomes one big Learn room, now with, I believe, over 2,000 learners that have signed up for that. I also, at the very end of February, on Leap Day, became a I Am Remarkable facilitator. And so by taking the facilitator training, I became one of several facilitators for the I Am Remarkable hashtag and program. It was originally founded at Google by Anna Venner and another Anna who worked at Google with her. And Anna became a NGO, a non-governmental organization, in 2023. And then in 2024, they started the training for facilitators again. I missed becoming one before the rebranding, but I went through the training as a facilitator in February of this past year. And then in March, I had the opportunity to do a I Am Remarkable session with the Women in Teams community. And the I Am Remarkable sessions are free, and so this was an opportunity to give back to one of the tech communities I'm involved with. I also attended the MVP Summit, and that was a lot of fun. That was the first time I considered dyeing my beard, now a goatee, into the Microsoft logo colors. And so out of that, I talked to somebody that was involved with the event, and decided, you know what, it might not make sense to color my beard at the event, just because I was given advice that the dye might actually, leak or cause some issues on, the clothes or the things I was wearing. So the photo that I have, I'm not sure if it's on this computer. We'll take a look if I've got it in this particular computer or not. I know I have a LinkedIn background photo archive. Got my Ignite 2015 session. Not sure what other photos here I have uploaded. Let's just see what that one looks like. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one where I was actually giving a session at Ignite 2015. But essentially, I decided to dye my beard the colors of the Microsoft logo. And I've done that a couple times, and somewhere I've got those photos to share. So now we're up to March of 2015. Make this full screen again. I also did a renewal article for LinkedIn in March, and the renewal happened in July. In April of 2024, I gave Heather Ackman a LinkedIn presentation for her class at Loyola University. This was also my opportunity to meet and connect with one of the student ambassadors from Loyola. So as part of my LinkedIn event today, I could go ahead and put in our LinkedIn Wrapped here. I think I just have to navigate backwards here to my LinkedIn Live. There we go. Turn off the audio and toss in the comment with a link to my templates. At aka.ms/MSIT showcase, MSIT showcase. I don't believe that URL is case sensitive. Let's double check. aka.ms, MSIT showcase. Maybe it is case sensitive, or maybe it's work smart. It's work smart. Sorry, folks. See if I can edit this or if I have to delete it. It looks like I have to delete it. MSIT Work Smart. So what I did at the MSIT Work Smart link, this is a link to my personal OneDrive. There are presentations out here, including a carousel, which somebody on LinkedIn started 2 years ago. And this was just the idea of giving people a shout out from your network, or instead of a carousel post where you just have, several different posts, you could go ahead and highlight different aspects of yourself and potentially others within here. So I had done 7 slides highlighting aspects about me. If I open this in the desktop app, I believe we will see that the slides are full in PowerPoint, but it looks like I exported them as squares. So as squares, I'm getting a little cutout here that I could fix by just putting the information into the square instead of off to the far side here. So you can see that my slides I created or originally had as these four being the square, but then the issue being the information doesn't fit on a square slide the way I have it lined up. So I can actually take these four objects and the text, then I can right click and group all of these objects together in PowerPoint, and then I can just drag them over here to make sure they all fit on a slide. And then I could make sure my instructions either fit on the slide, make the instructions maybe smaller in PowerPoint. And for this year, I could fix this carousel example so that it's a little more correct for a Instagram post. So we've got a couple of those examples. Besides that, out in that same directory, I have our D-Ray 2024 LinkedIn Unwrapped example or wrapped example. And in this, I believe I used the Cameo objects. So I hadn't updated these slides, but I had my Gallup strengths here. And what else do we have out there? See if we have our MVP wrapped one. Can sort by different fields here, so I could look for newest to oldest. Carousel, we just changed. D-Ray, Microsoft Wrapped. And then the infographic resume is the other thing that I worked on. So my goal for this presentation, which I'm going to finish up here in a couple minutes, we went live about a half an hour later than originally advertised, was to give you different ways to think about visualizing your contributions for the year. This can be because you are a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. This could be because you're a Microsoft trainer and you want to document that for a employer or a gig that you have. This could also be for any number of reasons that you decide to document your community contributions on the platform. So in this case, I've got a LinkedIn resume template that just allows you to highlight some things about yourself and your community contributions. So to wrap up, folks, we've got our information here about the wrapped by month. And if I go ahead and save this, keep my scribblings and my various websites here, maybe make these links out to the websites themselves. So insert a link, and then the link that I want to insert is author.studio for that one. And for this one is the same as the website there. And then our third one would be Dan's contributions. These are available at aka.ms/MSIT Work Smart. And again, I don't believe that URL is case sensitive, but in case it is, let's just go ahead and insert link, and you'll notice that it has the link that I just grabbed. And then the other place that I make contributions is on GitHub. And my repository is STILLDREY. So if I highlight that, insert link, it also becomes a link now. And so what I could do with this presentation is go ahead and insert a Cameo object on these last two slides. By default, I get it in the lower right as a circle. Here now I get designer because I changed my my actual slide master. I get suggestions with my Cameo object in place. Then I can insert the Cameo object here. On this slide, go with the Microsoft Designer recommendations, or I can go to the camera format and the camera shape to come up with other types of suggestions. Now, whatever shape you use, we mentioned this as well, becomes the shape that the video goes into. So Control to make this bigger. And this is not necessarily going to show me in its entirety because it's going to be whatever video I have. So I might need to place myself correctly into that shape or resize the shape or do something else to make that really useful in what I use in the Cameo objects. But you get the idea. The Cameo objects can be whatever size you want and whatever shape you want. So if now I save a copy of this locally to my computer here, Festive Tech Calendar 2024, and we save this to our Downloads Satya 2024 folder. We can go back and see if our Cleve AI has had time to process here. If we go to the very bottom of Satya's, we can see that it still looks like it's processing, and that I would assume we are probably still getting messages from the download pages that they're not ready just yet. But I should get an email from that. If you are patient and you wait for your LinkedIn 2024 LinkedIn Rewind, you'll get those cards from coauthor.studio. And if you don't want to be patient, you could look at maybe signing into OneDrive or using the account you have. I'm going to sign in as the account that owns that. Sign in is blocked. Let's see if I can get signed in here to upload my information. If I go to my files and I go to my shared folder, I can now upload the file that I just created. And we can share this with all of you for Festive Tech Calendar 2024. So now there should be a file out there with not only the templates that I've showed you previously, but with our Festive Tech Calendar 2024. And this is the template that I just presented today with the Cameo objects. So if you like the Cameo placement, you can use this as a document that you can download and make some changes to. You can also present from PowerPoint in the browser live. So if I choose to present and we do present live, let's see if it's an option here. looks like it's grayed out. I wonder if that's because I don't have the presentation open as the right account. Let's double check that. I'm logged in as the right account. I wonder if I have to just save it somewhere else here. Let's try that. Put it in a different directory. Maybe. Looks like it doesn't exist, probably because I moved it. Do a copy here. Doesn't look like I can do a copy, but I could do an upload of the file again. There we go. So now we have a present live and we have a festive tech calendar. Let's see if we can do a present live here or not. Doing this will allow my camera. Then my camera is down in the lower left, or sorry, lower right. My slides are here. And then the present live function does not appear to be working. I'd have to see why that is. But I have a presenter view option in the web, some other features there. But we've done a couple LinkedIn events where I've used the present live feature. I'm not sure if that's because it's in a shared folder or what's causing confusion there. Let's look if we can move it to a different folder. If that's part of why it's confused here, we can just put it in like an MVP folder for 2024. If it's a folder or permissions thing, this should have the present live option. So there's got to be something that's not allowing me to present live there, but the issue is escaping me at the moment. So with that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and end our session today. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. So we're just back to Satya from a standpoint of the LinkedIn Live. We're going to go ahead and stop streaming to LinkedIn. And I'm going to wish you all a wonderful end of 2024. And here's to 2025 and more contributions. Have a great day, everyone. End our recording.